How do you rank the hands? How do you know which one is worth more than the next? And why do they rank them that way? Regardless of the game that you're playing, be it 7-card stud, Black Maria, Spit in the Ocean, Canadian Crossfire, or the one we came here to play, Texas Hold'em, it always comes down to, at the end of the dance, you are trying to arrive at your highest, your best 5-card combination. Now, how do we rate these combinations? The same way we rate everything in life, on how difficult they are to get. The harder something is to achieve in life or to obtain, the higher its value. And the mathematical combinations are what predicate the list of the hand values. However rare a hand may be, that is the value it is given. So we'll start off with the lowest. If you pitch out 5 cards, the one that's going to come up most times is what you call a high hand, which is 5 random cards that really don't match up in any particular combination. What do we do in that situation? If 2 of us are matching up cards, and I were to say to this gentleman here, what's your highest card? If he were to say a king, that's a 13. The highest card in my hand is a queen, that's a 12, he would win. If he said a king and I said I have a king also, what do we do now? Let's go to the next one. What's your next card? I have a jack, I have a 9, he wins. We go all the way down the line until we finally get to where we have either a tiebreaker or, in the odd but sometimes possible event that we both have the same combination of high hand nothing, we split the pot. So what's next on the list? 1 pair. Out of your 5 cards, 2 of them are matched up. Common sense will dictate how this works out. 2 7s beats 2 6s, and so on down the line. And of course, the jacks are the 11s, the queens 12s, the kings 13s, and the aces in this situation you would always play as the high card, as the 14. Now we go to the next 5-card combination, which is 2 pair. You can see it goes in progression of difficulty just by common sense. That's why I like to break it down this way. Now, this is also where people that really do excel at math sometimes get confused, because the way you rate these hands is not on a mathematical average. 2 pair means 2 of them are matched up. So if you would look at a hand just on the face of it, and you had 2 kings, 13s, and 2 queens, 12, and a jack, that's a whole lot of loud-looking cards. Now you take somebody that has 2 aces and 2 deuces and a 4, it doesn't look quite as impressive, but who wins? The aces. Why? Because we always base it upon the highest pair dictates who has the best 2 pair. That's why I used to see in all the old cowboy movies, they'd say, I got 10s up. 10s up means 10's his biggest pair, and then he has a smaller pair underneath that. So did I lose anybody? We all on the same page? Okay, fine. Now we go to the obvious one. 3 of a kind. There are 4 numbers in all of the different card numbers in the deck. There are 4 of each number. When you have 3 of a kind in your 5-card hand, you have 3 out of 4 of those numbers in your hand. That obviously is going to be harder to get than 2 pair, 1 pair, and the others we've already mentioned. So 3 of a kind, we're starting to get into some of the better hands that you look at, and once again, common sense does dictate. 3 7s are going to be 3 6s, and so on down the line. Now we get into the West Hollywood card, the ace, and the only combination that it has, which is a straight, is 5 cards in a row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you get to the biggest straight possible, which is 10, Jack 11, Queen 12, King 13, Ace 14. That's what you would use it as the 14. When would you use it as the smallest combination, which is a 1? Something has to start the sequence of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Ace 2, 3, 4, 5 is the smallest straight you can have. Now, a lot of times somebody will start playing this game and realize, I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the other person says, I have ace 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to play my ace high. You obviously can't do that because the deck doesn't go 14, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're using it as a 1. Did I lose anybody? Okay, we're all on the same page. And with that, that is the only time you ever have to be concerned with the 2-way possibility of the ace. Every other time with every other hand, you'll always be playing it high. Now we get to the hand that a lot of people who've been playing this game all their life sporadically will sit down at the start of the game and genuinely ask the question, does a straight beat a flush or does a flush beat a straight? I'm going to break this down to where you'll never have to ask that question twice. The reality of a flush is it is 5 of 1 suit. That means you have 5 clubs in your hand in any random order. Now, even my paltry mathematical skills happens to know that there are 13 cards in each suit, and half of 13 is plus 1 carry, 6.5. Okay, I got that. So when you have a flush, you have nearly half of one suit in your hand. Now I mention it this way so that you will know that when you have half of one suit in your hand, common sense will tell you that that's going to be harder to get than 5 in a row, which you can do so many different ways. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when you look at it from that perspective, you never really have to ask that question again. All right, now we're getting into the premium hands, a full house. Once again, we're dealing with 3 of a kind, only this time those 2 side cards are no longer random. They're paired up. So you have 3 of a kind and a pair, and it works precisely the way the 2-pair rule works, which means the 3 of a kind dictates who's got the biggest full house. And this is just as you used to say, tens up. Full house, you would say, I've got 9s full. That means I have 3 9s and a pair. So if I have 9s full of aces and someone else has 10s full of deuces, they have 3 10s and 2 deuces, the 3 10s win. It works just like the 2-pair rule. The 3 of a kind will dictate who has the biggest full house. Any questions? As we're getting into the hands you're going to only see a few times in your life. 4 of a kind, pretty obvious. 4 numbers of each in the deck, you've got all 4 of them in your 5 cards. I think we can all figure out what 4 of a kind beats what 4 of a kind, and if you get a 4 of a kind beat, it's time for you to quit playing that night. All right, now we get down to what really is the last hand. It's a straight flush, and it is exactly what it says it is. It's a straight 5 in a row, flush, all of the same suit. I'm sure everybody who's never touched a deck has at least heard the phrase royal flush at some point in their life, and all a royal flush is the very highest straight flush you can get. The 10, jack, queen, king, ace, all of one suit. I started playing this game a long time ago when I was 19 years old. I hope it doesn't show, but that was a while back. I've seen 3 in my life, so you won't be seeing too many royal flushes unless, of course, you're playing in a private game at home somewhere where you have one-eyed jacks and split-bearded kings and suicide kings are wild. Unless you have wild cards in the game, you're not going to see a whole lot of those. Okay, so we've covered the hand values, we've covered the deck of cards, we've covered how many cards are in the suit, and I think we're ready to go to the next step. Is everybody else ready? All right then, let's do it. Thank you for watching. I'm Roger Rod, and I'm your poker expert for Professorit.com.